Hey folks, there on YouTube and Hammock Forums. This is David here, otherwise known as the Irishman Cometh on Hammock Forums. And what I want to do real quick here is just show you guys my mostly do-it-yourself hammock. Um, Basically, what I did is I started out with a Bayer Mosquito Traveler hammock. It had a fully enclosed bug net on it already, but it had a zipper and everything, and the whole thing was really just kind of a heavy. It was a pound just for the hammock without any sort of tree straps or anything like that. So what I did is I just took a seam ripper to it here. Let me slide my homemade bug net out of the way. And sorry about the camera work here. As you can see, I just kind of took a seam ripper to the bug net and took it off. What I used to replace it here is some tulle that I just bought from Walmart, and I bought 6 yards of it total and just sewed the ends together. I left a little gap right here, as you can see, for the hammock line as well as the ridge line for the hammock to come through. That, by the way, is a non-structural ridge line. Its only purpose is to hold the bug net up and to hang a couple light things on it. Coming over to the bug net here. I'm sorry if the camera works a little wobbly. I'm filming on the stair portion here. This is the only area in the house where there's 2 doors that I could hang the hammock up to show you guys. But over here on the other end of the hammock, or bug net rather, I just sewed in a channel on both ends and put in a drawstring. And you know, when I'm sleeping in it, that drawstring is completely closed up, giving me a fully enclosed bug net, which I kind of like better than just a bug net top, because if you're in really hot weather where the bug net would really come in handy with the bugs in the hot, humid environment, you're probably not going to be having an underquilt, may not even be using a top quilt at all. So, but if all you've got on the bottom area is just your regular hammock material and no bug net on the bottom, the mosquitoes and everything and the creepy crawlies can still get to the bottom of that hammock and bite you. But as you can see here with my homemade bug net, that drops down, a good 2.5 feet or so, and even when I'm in the hammock, it's still got around a foot of clearance. And just to get in and out of the bug net, I just undo the drawstring, kind of loosen it up, and just slide the whole thing back here. And if I want to, I can actually slide the whole thing up and completely take off the ridge line there if I want to. And I've got just a normal top entry gathered end open top hammock. Really, really nice. I like the versatility of it. And since I ripped off the bug net and took away the really extravagant multi-line suspension here that was on the hammock and just replaced it with some 550 cord and these little metal hooks here to hook into my homemade slap straps that I'll explain in a minute, the whole setup with my homemade slap straps weighs 17 ounces, so just over a pound. Whereas before it was a pound for just the hammock alone, and after my homemade slap straps, it was over 20 ounces. So I dropped quite a bit of weight, and really I kept the same functionality. In fact, I think I got more functionality with this setup than I did with the stock setup. Alright, now we're just gonna go over some of the highlights here. Here is the stuff sack that it comes with. Before, the stuff sack was just sewn into the edge here like a lot of the open top hammocks have. It worked all right, but I kind of like this setup on the Bishop bag better. So what I did is I just right along this edge here, this area, I sewed in a button stitch, and then snipped the area in between the button stitch that allows me to bring my suspension line through it. And so now my bishop bag, just my drawstring bag, just sits there like this. I can show my beanie and, little small extra warming layers type stuff in there if I want to. Cinch it down and it keeps it right there for me. Now we're going to move on to my attachment points here. As I told you, just 550 cord with a metal hook. These metal hooks you can get at Home Depot, any kind of, hardware store, and they're basically just kind of a home furnishing version of a screw gate carabiner, and they've worked quite well. They weigh an ounce a piece, so 2 ounces total for it, and it allows me to just move up and down these knots here that I've got placed along my homemade slap straps and make real easy, quick adjustments, quicker, I think, than even, say, a whoopee sling would be. And, it weighs a little bit more, maybe, a couple ounces more, and maybe a little bit more bulky, but I really like it. These homemade slap straps that I made are they're just two, probably around 12-foot lengths of 550 cord that I just folded in half and made a loop at one end, and that wraps around my tree, and then the 550 cord just threads back through that loop around the tree. You can't see that right now because it's on the other side of the door, and then I've just got these multiple knots that I tied all along it and allow it me to clip those rings in any point I want. And it's actually really nice because in the middle of the night, if I get up to go to the bathroom and I find my hammock is sagging a little bit more than I'd like it to, I just go over to which end is sagging more, and I just move it up one knot. It's really simple. It's really quick. It's not, and it doesn't and it doesn't cost anywhere near as much as whoopee slings would cost, nor does it take as much time to make as whoopee slings would take to make if you were to make them yourself. The ridge line, I kind of mentioned on it earlier, it's a non-structural ridge line. It does not affect the hammock sag at all. I kind of prefer my hammock to just be straight out flat. So this is just strictly to suspend the bug net above my face and for me to attach, light things on it like my headlamp or whatever in them so that it's there when I need it in the middle of the night. Like I already said, this whole setup weighs a pound, just 1 ounce over a pound when it's all said and done, for everything you see here, and it's an incredibly modular system. I can use it in incredibly cold climates. I can use it in incredibly hot climates. All I've got to do is change out my top and bottom quilt combinations. And this whole thing just fits into that stuff sack right there. No, except for the tree straps. Sorry, the slap straps do not. But the hammock itself fits into that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video real quick here, pack it all away, and show you what it looks like when it's all packed up. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we're back here, and as you can see, here is the whole hammock stuffed into its sack with my tree straps just wrapped around it there. You can see the metal hooks hanging out there. I kind of just leave them outside the sack, even the one that's not strung through the bishop bag. I just kind of leave it out there and wrap it up in the tree straps. Alright guys, hope you guys liked this little look at my mostly do-it-yourself hammock here. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.